Welcome to Uncle's Channel. Thanks for watching today. And let's talk about a brand new game that just came out called Trifox for Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 5, Xbox, Steam. Pretty much any way you want to play this game, you can play the game. But the best way I can describe it is like a mix between Crash Bandicoot, Croc, Gex, and I guess a twin stick shooter game. I mean, it's a weird combination, but actually all of it works together pretty well for an indie, casual, relaxing, fun Sunday evening type game. And oh, before I forget about it, I did receive a review copy of Trifox, but once again, that never affects my reviews in any form or fashion. My reviews are honest, and I just give my opinion on what I think of the game. But let's get back to talking about it. The story here is pretty simple. You are the Trifox, and the mean wolf breaks into your house and steals your TV remote, and it's your mission to get your TV remote back. Hey, you're a run-of-the-mill casual fox, you know, just trying to enjoy life. I mean, even look at the intro here, so it sort of scans through the home before the crime happens, and you can see all the pictures on the wall of the fox and his family and his little work meetings and his little fun clubs that he's hanging out with. I mean, he's truly just like a middle-class fox here, trying to enjoy life, and his mean wolf is just trying to take away the small joy of TV. That's sort of part of it reminds me of Gex a little bit, sort of the wacky humor on that. The smart aleck remarks aren't throughout the game like Gex, just sort of the overall tone reminded me a little bit of Gex, and the whole game sort of gives me a PlayStation 1 type vibe. But from here, you do go through a little tutorial, learn your basic moves, and of course, you then get to pick your different class. You can either be a mage, a warrior, or engineer. And each one has some similarities, but also some pretty big differences as the game progresses. Initially, you just simply basically choose your class on which type of dash move you want to have. An engineer has a little helicopter thing, and a mage sort of disappears and reappears, and a warrior sort of dashes across. But as you progress in the game, you actually unlock special abilities for each of the classes that you've chosen. And you can mix and match these throughout the game. You don't have to stay with one class as you go, and you can actually just sort of import the moves over from one class to the other as well. It's sort of like the loadout in a lot of the shooter games where you sort of get to customize yourself before you go into an individual level. It's very similar to that because you get to go through the little hub here and you can actually equip whichever abilities that you want. Now there are 4 abilities that you can choose from, each for your 4 triggers on the controller, and you unlock more as you go. And you just simply have to collect coins in order to unlock the abilities, and you get those from destroying enemies, destroying crates, defeating the main boss, and you simply sort of go through the level, beating the level, collecting coins, unlocking more stuff, and continue on the process. Now there are 3 core worlds that you get to go through, 4 levels in each of the worlds, and you're going to stack up to be about a 4-hour game overall. But there's a lot of replayability inside the game as well. Because even after you get done going through a level, you can go back through it again. You can actually collect, you know, all the extra little treasure chests, find more puzzles, and collect more money to unlock more abilities. And of course, there's some replayability in the collect side of things, but there's also replayability on just simply unlocking all the abilities on your character in order to sort of see what the game has in store as an overall. The levels themselves are all pretty varied, pretty fun. You start off in a shore level, you work your way through a factory level as well. It's overall a pretty good variety, but the levels, they're not just simply a straight, you know, shooter level or a fighting level as you go through. There's a lot of platform stuff in there as well, a lot of pretty simple puzzles. Most of the puzzles are just simply picking up, you know, little switches or little balls that activate switches, things like that. They're pretty simple, but the game's not a really hard thinking game. It's mostly a relaxing game. You're just sort of going to play through just for a fun Sunday evening type game. Now there are a few flaws in the game as you go through it. The frame rate does drop here and there as you're working through it. The enemies can sometimes get a little overloady on the screen early on. The puzzles really aren't that difficult. The game could have used a little bit of a difficulty spike in some levels, but I don't think the game really wants to be difficult, but the puzzles get so easy at some parts. You're like, is the puzzle even really necessary? And I actually feel that the game would have been a lot better if it had been a multiplayer game as well, because these twin stick shooters, they really just lean themselves to being a great multiplayer game, especially when you get to customize your character and, you know, choose your loadout. I mean, it really just leans in that direction of multiplayer, but it just doesn't deliver on that side. I think implementing an online multiplayer would have been a big plus in this game, and they might do it down the road. I mean, it'd be a great patch, and I think it would really improve the game quite a bit. But overall, it's a pretty fun, relaxing, you know, indie game. Harkens back to the PlayStation 1 era with the graphics as well as sort of the gameplay and the sense of humor, things like that. And it's $20, and for just a fun, relaxing indie game, I'd say it's probably worth that. If you're like a hardcore gamer and you want a really difficult experience and you want a challenge, you might want to pass on the game or wait until it goes on sale. But just for a casual, relaxing, you know, pretty fun little game, $20, probably worth supporting the indie company for that. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. And as always, go out there, find a great game to play, and just simply have a great rest of the day.